Hello, welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist, your number one spot for the hot takes and sharp analysis on Nigerian politics. Today, we are diving into a fairy statement from a well-known voice, Senator Shehu Sani. He's pointing fingers, but not where you might expect. He claims the deep-rooted problem in the northern Nigeria, the poverty, the insecurity, the crumbling infrastructure, aren't just the fault of the current administration. Instead, he lays the blame squarely at the feet of the past northern leaders. Let's get straight into what he has to say. So sit back and take a watch.
Yes, most of these people talking about not this, not that, northern Nigeria this, northern Nigeria that. These were people who had the opportunity to transform northern Nigeria. They failed. They failed in the areas of education, they failed in the areas of health, they failed in the areas of infrastructure, they failed in the areas of security. Most of these people were in power as ministers, as governors, as people holding positions in department and agencies of the federal government. They couldn't address the problem of poverty in the north. They couldn't address the problem of illiteracy in the north. They couldn't address the problems of destitution in northern part of Nigeria. They had the whole opportunity, the resources to do that, and they failed. Their opposition and criticisms of this administration is not born out of the love for northern Nigeria. It's not born out of the love for the Talakawa in northern Nigeria. It's not born out of the desire and interest of the masses of this region. Because if they truly love the North, they could have addressed its challenges. The North is a victim of their failure of governance. Northerners were the result, the poor people in the North were the outcome of their disastrous outing when in power. They had all the time to transform northern Nigeria. But what have they done? None. Let us not forget, many of them who held position of authority and power never even identified with the North when they were on the seat, but only with their own position. When the last head of state, may the Lord bless his soul, was in power, they occupied strategic position, which was an opportunity to transform northern Nigeria. They failed. Now they are inciting people in the north and cramming themselves in the so-called coalition when all their anger was simply about their own personal interests. They have been in power for so long that they can't live without power. They were slave owners. They were the architects and authors of the poverty and destitution you see in this northern part of Nigeria. So people shouldn't waste their time listening to them. And for those of us in Kaduna State, we came from the history of their failure and destruction and divisiveness. And we will not allow ourselves to go back to that level. And we are waiting for them when the time comes.
Powerful words from Senator Shehu Sani. So let's break this down. Senator Sani's argument is both bold and historically resonant. He's essentially saying that for decades, individuals from northern Nigeria have held significant positions of power. They've been governor, ministers, and head of powerful federal agencies. During their time in office, they had access to immense resources and the authority to bring about transformative change in their own region. He points to critical areas where they failed: education, healthcare, infrastructure, and security. Think about it. For years, the North has unfortunately led in statistics related to out of school children, high poverty rates, and has been the epicenter of devastating security crises like the Boko Haram insurgency and widespread banditry. What Senator Sani is doing is shifting the narrative. Often, when these issues are discussed, the blame is directed at the central government of the day. But he is personalizing it, arguing that the very people who were supposed to be custodian of the region's progress were the ones who neglected it. They had the opportunity, the resources, and the political capital to build a prosperous North. But according to him, they failed to deliver. This isn't just about a lack of action. It's an accusation of misplaced priority. He suggests their current criticism of Tinubu's administration are not just genuinely for the love of the North or its common people, the Talakawa, but are driven by their own loss of power and influence. It's a compelling argument because it forces a moment of introspection within the northern political establishment itself, asking them to account for their years at the helm. Now, for my critical take on this, while Senator Sani's points are incredibly valid and will resonate with many Nigerians who feel frustrated by the lack of development despite the region's political dominance over the years, we must also look at this with a critical lens. Firstly, is it entirely fair to absolve the current administration of all responsibility? While past failures created the deep-seated problem we see today, the government in power always has the primary responsibility to address them. The buck, as they say, stop at the top. The citizens suffering now are looking for solution from today's leader, not just explanation of the past failures. Secondly, the issue of governance in Nigeria is complex. While these leaders held powerful positions, the structure of our federal system, issues of resource allocation, and systematic corruption at all levels of governments also play a significant role. It is a collective failure that spans region and decades. Singling out northern leaders, while justifying in many respects, might oversimplify a deeply systematic problem. However, the core of Senator Sani's message is undeniable and crucial. For too long, identity politics has been used to mask failures in governance. Leaders have often hidden behind regional and ethnic solidarity to avoid accountability. What Senator Sani is doing is breaking that mold. He is telling the people of the North to look inwards and demand accountability from those who have claimed to represent them for so long. He calls them slave owners, who became architects of the region's poverty. This strong language is designed to provoke and to awaken a new sense of consciousness. It is called for a new standard of leadership in the North, one based on tangible development and a genuine concern for the people rather than the pursuit of personal power. So, what are your thoughts on this? Is Senator Shehu Sani right to blame the past northern leaders for the region's own woes? Or is it an attempt to deflect responsibility from the current government? Let me know your take in the comment section below. And if you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends and on your social media, and most importantly, subscribe to Oba's Trending Gist and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on the latest gist. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.